Do they still have me on there to say something? Yeah. Okay. Yep, you are on here.
I know you're the MC.
I thought so. Yeah, there you are.
Okay.
Right after the check presentation.
Okay. All right.
Okay. working, sir? Yeah, we are. Just wondering if we're ready to go.
This supposed to be on too?
Yeah. Test. That one's on. Is that one on? Test.
Hold on.
Test. That's it.
It's on?
Should be. Yes.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
You can't hear.
No, you can't
So you
hear.
talking in this one?
Go ahead. Talk now.
Say something in this one now.
Testing 1, 2, yeah. Which one I'm talking? Either one of them. You can hold on to that one or talk, whatever. They're both on.
I'm gonna put it right here.
Okay. All right. Good. This is not on. It's not in. It's not high enough. Let me turn the
You want
volume.
to pull it high?
Yeah, the volume.
Oh. I think it's already at the highest.
The volume level
Yeah.
over here. Yeah.
No, that's for this one.
Okay. Well, I can use this one. Yeah, that's better.
You like that one?
Yeah, we'll use this one. Just put both of them up there.
Yeah, they both on. He wanted it higher.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. We're okay, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, and welcome, friends, to the St. John Street Neighborhood Memorial Park. That felt really good saying that. We're off to a good start here. According to my schedule, and according to the mayor, he's got a tight schedule today, so we'll move right along. And I'll just open up by giving you a brief history as to why and how we got to this point. 3 years ago, at the Juneteenth celebration at the College and Cultural Center, I got with the mayor and took the opportunity to get a few minutes with him and explain our concerns about the sale of the St. John Street Center. What happened with that sale was the fact that in announcing the sale, it was the St. John Street Community Center was referred to as the Flint Police Training Academy. Well, that kind of raised our hackles a little bit, and we realized at that point that our history was slowly fading away because that building, which is right on the other side of the expressway and still standing, the last building in the St. John Street area. We decided, in contrast to our efforts in the past to develop a historical site, we as a committee decided that we would go for a memorial park. Well, at that Juneteenth celebration, I mentioned that to the mayor. He was receptive to a meeting. So we set up a meeting with the mayor's office. We presented our concerns and our hopes for Memorial Park. He was very receptive and he supported us. And out of that meeting came a commitment of $250,000 from the mayor and the city, which was half the proceeds from the sale of the St. John Street Center. He also made available to the St. John Street Historical Committee the Planning and Development Department, which we collaborated with in developing a plan for this park, commemorating the St. John Street area. For those of you that are not familiar with the St. John Street area, it was a community, a neighborhood, a village, where everyone looked out for each other. A lot of Black-owned and Eastern European-owned businesses. The whole community was self-sufficient, vibrant. The only thing that we could not buy was a house outside of the area. So we were relegated to one of two sites, the Floral Park site on the south side and the St. John Street area, which we now are sitting on. Boulevard Drive and 475, which is right behind you. Beneath all that rubble and that highway were houses, all up and down West Boulevard Drive. I live 2 blocks on the other side of the bridge on West Boulevard Drive and Dakota Street. So with that said, and I don't want to belabor, because I can talk about St. John all day long, but moving right along, that's how we got here. And I won't talk about money. I'll let the mayor do that. But that's a brief history of how we got here and where we are. So with that, I will ask Pastor Pettigrew to come forward, lead us in prayer, and bless this park.
Good morning. Let us bow. Kind and most gracious God, we thank you. A beautiful day. We're glad about it. Thank you for this historical moment, this park, a park where all will come and enjoy and reminisce and think about the good times, the times that was struggle. But we want to say thank you for this point in this day, as this park is being blessed, as all those who are making the efforts to making this moment happen. We're asking you to allow each day to make it safe, make it an educational park, that when those that come and go, they'll look back and say, this is the reason. We're going to be mindful to say thank you. Thank you for our mayor. Thank you for the representative, all those who have been very optimistic about this moment. We ask it all in the mighty name of Jesus. Let us all say amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
All right, thank you, sir. Bless this park. All right, we'll move right along with the schedule that I have here. And it gives me great pleasure and to bring forth our honorable mayor of the city of Flint, Mayor Sheldon Neely.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you all. Good morning. You know, this is another blessed day that God has brought us forth here for another great announcement in this great community. You know, I'm so very, very, very blessed and so very grateful to be mayor of this great city, the city of Flint here, to talk about this area here, the St. John's Memorial Park area. You know, this area here was a landing spot for the Southern migration when people came here for the good manufacturing jobs, much like my grandparents, arriving here from Mississippi and other families from the southern portions of our country, to be able to get the good manufacturing jobs, to be able to seek out life, liberty, and happiness here. But one of the things that we have to talk about really when we have courageous conversations in America, and we should have more of these, especially around these times, is about the dominant sins of our country. Flint was subject to that in the late 1960s and early 1970s when we talk about eminent domain coming through with highway projects, interrupting communities and stabilized communities throughout our country. Many of those highway projects disbanded and dispersed communities of color. St. John's area was its own ecosystem, economic, residential, faith-based. It was a thriving part of this community. But when I-475 came through here, it disrupted that level of unity and that ecosystem. It happened in Oklahoma and it happened throughout America. And as you guys just kind of hear the sounds of progress again, I-475 is taking another facelift, but we were able to be at the table because we sat in positions to be able to make sure that communities like St. John's areas was never interrupted. As you can look at this billion-dollar project, and that's what's happening on I-475 now. And I want to thank State Representative Cynthia Neely for making sure that those things are getting done and done with the people's support and input. Give her a round of applause. And now, as we look at, you know, after decades of disenfranchisement, we're able to make some wrongs all right. You know, I was born in the very late 1960s. As you can see by my hairline, I've had some deficits as a byproduct of being born in the late 60s. But as mayor, when I saw the first opportunity to be able to say that we can make these communities whole again, I thank God for the St. John's Memorial Park group. Mr. Wardlow, thank you. Give him a round of applause. When we started looking with our planning and zoning department, looking at how to liquidate our liabilities and change these things into assets, we sold a piece of the St. John area for $500,000. At that time, the committee, the St. John's committee came, as Mr. Warlow said, and said, well, what can we do to move forward? I committed and dedicated half of the revenue of that sale to this project. We're standing here now. I always say prayer, planning, and partnership. Prayer, planning, and partnership. I want to thank all of our partners that's here. Many of our partners are here, and I don't want to start naming them because I may miss some. But from the city level, the state level, the county level, or the federal level, they're all here to help make this project flourish. I want to bring up a few people right now, some of my partners now that's moving here in the city of Flint. I want to bring up the councilman of this great ward, Quincy Murphy. Come here and just stand with me, Quincy, and don't pass the phone to Judy because you're coming up too. And also State Representative Cynthia Neely. Come on up, guys. As we talk about as I talk about the bouquet of revenue streams, and I call it a bouquet because we all know that bouquets are very beautiful. Different colors, yellow, white, red, and a little garnishments on the side to make a very beautiful bouquet. And when I talk about funding revenue streams, definitely they're beautiful, right? $250,000 from the first general allocation from the general fund from the city of Flint. American Rescue Plan dollars, $500,000. Thank you, City Council, for being there, but that's federal dollars. Give them a round of applause, yes. $1 million from the state of Michigan. Thank you, State Representative Cynthia Neely, the Department of Natural Resources, for being here as well. And then now, moving forward, it's going to be another $250,000 from the city of Flint and the general fund obligation. But this is the start of rebuilding. Rebuilding on the shoulders of those who came here to this community to make a good life for themselves. Those great union members. And I want to recognize Sam Muma, president of 1600 here today. Building on the shoulders of those individuals as we get ready to commemorate this park, and construction will begin next year in the construction season. Our contractors are here. Our developers and our planners are here. Thank you to all of you. And definitely I want to make sure that I do this shout out. Then I'm going to pass the microphone to a couple of my colleagues here. But definitely Quincy Murphy has been a long-standing resident of this community, a great individual, a great community patriot, and also a great city council person who's been doing the work of the people. Judy Priestley's here as well, been in support of movements and initiatives like these. Dr. Liddell Lewis, Vice President Candace Machat have been doing great work. But definitely I want to give the microphone to some of those other individuals that's moving forward and continue to champion our movement as a community. And we have to strive together because we are a sum of all of our parts. Our state representative, Cynthia Neely, she wanted to give congratulatory remarks, and then also Councilman Murphy and Councilman Priestley. State Representative.
Good morning. I'm State Representative Cynthia Neely. I represent this entire city, 70th District. I just wanted to come up and say congratulations to the St. John. I had an opportunity to speak with Sister Nellie Bacon, and she was sharing with me just some stories about when she was a little girl walking on this bridge behind me going to school, and she was just giving me some rich history about this area. And I just wanted to say congratulations and job well done, everyone.
Good morning. Quincy Murphy, 3rd Ward City Councilman, and I just want to briefly talk about the history that I known growing up with a family that was raised around the St. John. I heard of a street called Idaho. I don't know where it was at. My mother and them, it was 11 of them, and they talked about growing up when we was at the kitchen table was Idaho. And they would name people who grew up down the street or around the corner. It just seemed like it was a big family. And then I read a book called Demolition Mean Progress. And in that book, it talked about the segregation, how you couldn't come across Saginaw Street, how people only was able to live in a particular area. And it was so much history in reading that book. I'm excited to be able to see that we'll be able to come down here and read different historical artifacts all placed throughout this area for our children and grandchildren and people who don't really know about the St. John area could come and play and learn and not just enjoy yourself. You can also learn and get some teachable moments and some takeaways from this historical site that's finna be developed. So I'm thankful to the mayor and the council and the state rep for supporting. Hopefully we can get some money for this bridge right here, and we'll be back to do a ribbon cutting to tear down and rebuild. And with that being said, I want to turn it over to my colleague Judy Priestley that get on my nerves sometimes.
It's because we sit next to each other. So I grew up in the 60s and 70s. I didn't know about this community. The first time I heard about this community was when the woman who bought our house paid cash because she was paid out for $475. When it was brought to council, I was not necessarily in favor of the resolution. It was originally $250,000. But as I heard the stories about what a community this was, because when you were a kid, you didn't care, right? You were worried about your own little life and your family and your friends. I think I shocked people when the resolution was amended to go to 500,000. That I voted for it. I couldn't turn that down, and I'm really sorry for what happened to this community, because it really makes me cry that we lost that. And I'm so glad that we're going to be able to memorialize so that future generations can hear about what happened and what can be in the future.
As you guys just heard, prayer, planning, and partnership, we seek out our partners of like thinking to be able to empower this great community. We stand firmly in faith. We move with a focus and a plan. And then we seek out our partners. Seeking out our partners is very important. And AE Collaboratives has been a great partner, and they're going to be a great partner moving forward for the next coming years. Flintstones, 2/3 of the groups are Flintstones originally, right? And so, later on today, we'll be cutting the ribbon at the bricks. I'm going to be giving out bricks and saying I'm proud to be a Flint brick, right? But definitely Flintstones. And Mr. Willow, come up here. We're going to give out some money. I wrote this check just this morning. Let's get up AE Collaborative. This is a big check. This is the only one I can fit in my pocket. I lost a little weight. On behalf of the St. John Memorial Park Association and its Flint City Council and state representatives and also our federal partners, we offer you a partnership to be able to restore this great community in a great way for generations to come. Mr. Wardlow, present them with the $2,009,862.96. Somebody give me 4 pennies. We're going to round that 96 cents up. Thank you, guys.
Darren, it gives me great pleasure as he passed this check to me and I pass it to you for a grand partnership in developing this site for a place where our grandchildren can remember us and have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are honored.
We can take a picture afterwards.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Mayor. And moving right along, Karen, you're already up here. So we'll pass the mic to you and you give us a brief layout.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, to our state representative Neely and our city council people, Mr. Wardlow, and the great St. John Streeters. Thank you so much. And also to the planning committee. Again, I'm Karen Davis Burton. I'm a principal and partner with AE Collaborative. Our entire team is proud and honored to have been chosen to lead the design and construction for this very important and meaningful space. It's even more special because I, as the mayor mentioned, and many of our team members were born and raised right here in Flint, attending Flint schools and playing in the neighborhoods and everything. We understand that this project is more than just a park. It's a tribute to resilience, spirit, and the history of the St. John neighborhood and all of the communities that were affected by urban renewal. Growing up in Flint, I saw firsthand the impact of these policies on our neighborhoods, displacing families, including my own, my maternal grandparents' home, and my paternal grandparents' grocery store business, and erasing rich cultural tapestry that once thrived. Today, we're taking a significant step to acknowledge that history and to honor the memories and contributions of those who called St. John home here and around this space. This memorial park is also a trailblazing project. It not only commemorates the past, but also looks forward to a future of healing and unity. By creating this space, we're giving the still active, vibrant St. John Streeters a place to gather, reflect, and celebrate. We're also setting a precedent for how cities can thoughtfully and respectfully acknowledge their histories, and we're fostering a stronger and more inclusive community. Thank you again to everyone who has supported this initiative. Thank you to the St. John Streeters for your persistence and your love of Flint. We are excited to see the positive impact that this park will have on Flint and for generations to come. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Karen. At this time, I'd just like to take a moment for all the St. John Street committee members to raise your hands and step forward and be recognized, please, for all your hard work to this point. Please come forward. Now, I'd like a big hand, not a little hand, a big hand for the St. John Street Committee. Yeah, I appreciate each and every one of them. It's through their diligence and hard work that we're at this point now. Thank you. Any of you want to say anything? No? Yeah, I knew she would.
I'm trying to do this without crying. Thank you for everybody that came out. Help us make this park a beautiful place. Look at some of the kiosks that they put up to learn a little bit more before you leave. Thank you.
All right, thank you, committee. Yeah, hard work. Claudia?
Okay. I wasn't raised in the St. John Street community. I came to Flint when I was 18 in 1962 from Birmingham, Alabama. So, as I've said in the past, when I left Birmingham and came to Flint, to the St. John Street community, that was like leaving hell coming to heaven. If I wanted to ride on the bus, I didn't have to go to the back. If I was thirsty, I didn't have to try to find the colored water fountain. I'm getting choked up. You just don't understand. Coming from Birmingham, Alabama to St. John Street community in 1962, I think that was about 3 years before the South 16th Street bombing, where those four, young babies were killed. I love St. John. I love it. So does my kids. And I am so happy that this is happening. 100 years from now, I want my offspring to be able to come and visit and see what great-great-great-great-granny came to when she left segregated Birmingham. Thank you.
All right. That pretty much concludes the program. I see on my itinerary we have a tour to begin. I don't know who's the tour guide, but I'm free to answer any questions that any of you might have. And right now, I'd like to call the mayor up for his final remarks. And I'd like to give my deep appreciation to his support for our park. It never would have happened without him.
Thank you for that. But working together is key. Staying together is progress. We are seeing progress here in the city of Flint. Who's going to be giving the tour? Is it Mykesha? Is it going to be you? Come on up, Mykesha. So you'll be able to walk through and take a look at some of the things that we have here. But also we're going to open it up for the media to ask any questions right now that we can break off for one-on-ones prior to the tour beginning. Yeah, good. TV 12. All right. Chris Fryer will call on you, but I don't know who you write for. You know, he and I used to work together back in the days when I was in broadcast at Channel 12. But definitely this is a great occasion. Let's take a picture and then let's do a tour. All right, thank you guys. God bless.
One more reminder, our St. John Street reunion is tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
We'd like to see each and every one of you there. It's at the American Legion on Carpenter Road between Jennings and Linden Road. We'll be starting around 10 o'clock for the rest of the day. We have free refreshments. Come out, enjoy your friends, reminisce about the good times we had right up and down West Boulevard Drive. Thank you.
Let's take a picture. Come on up, guys. Come on, St. John. Katie stays this picture.
That's the way we're gonna step here.
Keep this out of you guys' way.
We need to check, Bobby.
I guess we can be in the background.
We'll move up front when they get through. I doubt it. Warlow representative.
Gotta go. No.
Good.
I'm gonna get that. I want to take it on salad. Because that stuff, I don't want people to get sick or.
Thank you. How do you get lost?
Nervous. Salad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Not for the big away.
I didn't even see that.
It's bag, the bag stuff.
Steve, we got to get one with you in the picture.
I didn't come dressed for pictures.
Good to be here. I grew up right over here. Okay. I grew up right back over here on 1250 there. Right over there.
I didn't know anything about this. And yet I drove by here all the time. But it was fun. You know, I mean,
My mother's
when they opened up,
We totally get your